And we are live. What is up, people? Welcome back. Here we are back again for another edition of Money Making Secrets. This is number 16, Creating the Prosperity Mindset by Randy Gage. Now, if you've been following along, you've been watching the previous installments of Money Making Secrets of Mind Power Masters, which, by the way, is the free ebook that I'm reading these articles aloud from. This free ebook you can grab over at the website mindpowernews.com, and I'll include all these links in the description. But if you've been following along and you've been listening to these audios and you've been re-listening to them over and over again, do me a quick favor and just leave a comment. Let me know how things have possibly changed for you, hopefully for the better, in your business, in your life, and maybe in your mindset, in your attitude, potentially in your health, and just let me know what's going on so far with how these articles that I'm reading out loud to you are programming your subconscious mind to help you create your highest and best use of reality. And also, if you haven't already, please go ahead and smash that like button. And of course, you're going to leave a comment. Also, share this. And if you're catching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. And also hit that notification bell, which will alert you when new articles are posted so that you can continue to work on your subconscious mind and help you to create your highest and best use of reality by listening to these audios over and over again, perhaps first thing in the morning, on the drive to work. Maybe when you have an idle moment, just pop in the headphones, find a quiet area, turn off all distractions, go ahead, listen to 5 or 6 of these articles in a row, and then see how things go for the rest of the day after that. And of course, you can also listen to these with your family, maybe with the kids in the car, if you want to help them to learn what are some important lessons that they need to know if they want to become successful in whatever it is that they're going to be doing when they're all grown up. So without further ado, let's hop right into this. This is Creating the Prosperity Mindset by Randy Gage. The note was scrawled across the back of a flyer for the chaplain program. It was written by a parishioner right after a Sunday service I had given at my own church. I hadn't realized until you pointed it out that it's the rich people who are the spiritual ones, he wrote. I guess those slaveholders were on the right track. The only thing wrong was the prosperity consciousness of those slaves. No doubt the writer was being quite sarcastic and thought his comments would expose the absurdity of my teaching and support his beliefs, which it's safe to assume are that it is somehow spiritual to be poor and that rich people are exploiting the poor. It's fascinating that he would pick such an analogy because I do believe that in many cases, rich people are operating at a higher consciousness than poor people. That's why they are rich. I also believe people who allow others to steal their freedom have serious issues of prosperity consciousness. Since he didn't sign his note, he won't discover that instead of seeing irony in his comments, I see an element of truth. Imagine the amazement and shock he might feel. Perhaps you're feeling the same way now. The fact that rich people have amassed wealth indicates that they are living by at least some of the spiritual laws that govern prosperity. Of course, this does not mean that all rich people are spiritual and all poor people are not. Prosperity is a synergy of a number of factors, including a strong spiritual connection, optimum health, great relationships, rewarding vocation, and yes, the material aspects. So rich people who are sick, bitter, and lonely are certainly not prosperous. By the same token, however, if you are healthy, spiritually grounded, have a great marriage, but struggle to pay your credit card bills each month, you are certainly not prosperous. In the book, As a Man Thinketh, James Allen relates how usual it is for people to say, many men are slaves because one is an oppressor. Let us hate the oppressor. He then goes on to note the increasing tendency of people to say, one man is an oppressor because they are slaves. Let us despise the slaves. The real truth is that both the slaves and the oppressor are co-creators in ignorance, lack, and limitation. While it seems that they are victimizing each other, in reality, they are victimizing themselves. Prosperity and human dignity are both based upon value received. An oppressor cannot sustain prosperity because he is exacting more than he returns and will ultimately bankrupt his own consciousness. A slave gives not enough value to himself and likewise ends up in a state of spiritual bankruptcy. As the Course in Miracles teaches, there are no victims, only volunteers. A person will remain weak, dependent, and miserable by refusing to raise his or her consciousness. A person can reject servitude, conquer limitations, and achieve greatness by raising his or her consciousness. To quote again from Allen's book, "A strong man cannot help a weaker unless that weaker is willing to be helped. And even then, the weak man must be strong of himself. He must, by his own efforts, develop the strength which he admires in another. None but himself can alter his condition. It's tough to develop the strength to be prosperous if you're being continually programmed that it's spiritual to be poor, especially if you're not even aware you're being programmed and it's on a subconscious level. To experience a true spiritual prosperity, you have to be manifesting prosperity in all areas of your life. Yet, if you're doing okay in most areas, but you don't have much money, it's easy to fall into the trap our note writer did. You want to believe that somehow your reward is coming later, heaven perhaps, and that you will in some way be compensated for living your current life of limitation. After all, who among us wants to believe that we are suffering needlessly or have riches at our fingertips but refuse to partake in them? Now, to be fair to our letter writer, he certainly isn't alone. This kind of thinking is quite pervasive today. So why would I write a book with a message sure to threaten so many people? Because I fear what will happen to them when they are not threatened. I take the privilege and the responsibility of my platform seriously. In fact, I consider it sacred. I speak the messages I perceive people need to hear, not necessarily the ones they want to hear. It pains me to see anyone anywhere experiencing poverty and lack in their life. When you think about it, the idea of me giving a Sunday church service is kind of funny. I was raised atheist and entered a church only twice in my first 30 years on the planet, once by accident and once for a wedding. When I found my way to the church I would eventually call home, I was unemployed, had no car, was $55,000 in debt, and selling my furniture to eat. My health was shot, my relationships were an absolute mess, and I couldn't have been more unhappy. By the time the furniture was gone and I was eating macaroni and cheese 3 times a day, I discovered a very fascinating thing. I came to understand that success and prosperity had almost nothing to do with opportunities, chance, luck, or even training, education, or skill. It had everything to do with consciousness, beliefs, and even subconscious programming that you aren't aware of. Poverty is not an absence of money and things. It's a mindset. Prosperity is not an abundance of money and things. It's also a mindset. When I began studying the laws that govern prosperity, I embraced the principles out of desperation. I applied those principles, and you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who has had a greater degree of turnaround. I am truly blessed, manifesting abundance in all areas of my life in ever-increasing ways. This only happened because I was willing to confront my weaknesses, discover and eliminate the insidious lack programming I had, and replace it with positive programming. To this day, I am ever vigilant, mindful of what I allow myself to watch and listen to, and the people I associate with. I had to get out of my comfort zone, brave fears, and face up to my beliefs. Once you've done this, you feel called to help others challenge the self-limiting beliefs that are holding them back from their greatness. That was the motivation I felt that morning as I spoke at church, and the motivation that has me writing this book for you now. Money is part of the magic in life. It is an enabling force that allows you to be the real you. It allows you to go where you wish to go, do what you wish to do, and become who you desire to become. Money is God in action. Poverty causes people to lie, cheat, steal, and even kill. There is nothing spiritual about poverty. Yes, poverty really does suck. Some of the people in my audiences are shocked when I make the statement that it is a sin to be poor. Of course, Charles Fillmore shocked the religious community of his day when he made the proclamation almost 100 years ago. It still has the power to stun people today. Yet, if you learn the actual translation of sin, it means to miss the mark. The Course in Miracles defines sin as a lack of love. I believe both characterizations are accurate. When you're providing true value to the universe, you are rewarded with riches. That's the way the universe works, all the time, with no exception. When I speak to an audience or write a book like this, I want people to understand a very simple but very important thing. They can't help anyone unless they have first helped themselves. Or as Reverend Ike would say, the best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them. It doesn't serve God or you if you are broke, sick, unhappy, or in dysfunctional relationships. You have to believe you are worthy of prosperity in all of its forms. Then, as you walk the path of spiritual consciousness, you will find that you begin to manifest it more every day. And that is what drives me to do what I do. So if I shock you, offend you, or threaten you with what I write, please evaluate why that might be. And know that I am coming from a place of love and wanting the highest good for you. I want you to be healthy, happy, and rich. So a little bit about the author of this article. This is excerpted from Prosperity Mind, How to Harness the Power of Thought by Randy Gage. For more resources, visit mindpowernews.com. That's also where you can grab this free ebook, Money Making Secrets of Mind Powered Masters. You can get it as a free download. I'm just reading these articles out loud to you. I'm not reading all 24 of the articles in the book. I am reading a good amount just so that you can have a good amount of different recordings to help you as you're listening to these over and over again several times throughout the day and programming your subconscious mind. Because as we've learned from all these authors who are all pretty much saying the same type of lesson, that lesson is you create your reality. You create your reality through your feelings, your beliefs, your thoughts, your ideas, the actions you take, and then what are the outcomes of those actions? Are they beneficial? How many people are they benefiting? And it all started back from your beliefs that you can create your reality. So why not create your highest and best use of reality? That's why I'm making these recordings. That's why I want you to listen to these over and over again to help you program your subconscious mind, to help you create your highest and best use of reality. So thanks again for tuning into this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.